When looking for solutions for blocking phone numbers from calling your landline, you'll typically find 3 common suggestions. 1. Sign up for the Do Not Call Registry. 2. Use a traditional call blocker. 3. Contact your service provider. Unfortunately, none of these suggested tips actually do anything to stop unwanted landline calls. Each can offer some relief, but not much. The Do Not Call Registry actually allows calls that most people would like to block. Even if you sign up for this list, the first thing to note is that the FTC does not and cannot block calls. In fact, the following calls are all allowed by the Do Not Call Registry. Political calls are legal. Political robocalls are legal. Charitable calls are legal. Debt collection calls are legal. Purely informational calls are legal. Survey calls are legal. Calls from companies you've recently done business with are legal. In other words, most of the calls you don't want are still able to freely sneak into your home. Meanwhile, traditional call blockers are able to stop, at most, only 5% of unwanted landline calls. The biggest reason for this is that they rely on blocking specific numbers. But the easy workaround for scammers is to simply call from another number that you haven't blocked. This works in their favor because they have access to hundreds of millions of possible phone numbers. Since most call blockers can only handle up to 1,000 numbers, it's impossible for them to stop even a small percentage of these calls. And good luck contacting your service provider. The truth is, they make money off of each and every phone call placed on their network, whether it's a legit call or not. If they do offer help in the form of advice, it's usually telling you to not answer your phone if you don't recognize the number. But there are 2 problems with that piece of alleged advice. 1. Spoofing technology makes it easy for scammers to trick your caller ID, and as a result, trick you into answering. 2. A phone constantly interrupting your home life can hardly be considered a solution. If you really want to block phone numbers from calling your landline, there is only one solution that works 100% of the time. Meet IMP, the smart call blocker that stops 100% of the landline calls you don't want. IMP works by connecting the contacts in your smartphone with your landline. And then IMP checks every single call. If it's someone IMP knows, your phone rings. Otherwise, IMP silently handles the call for you and takes a message. With IMP, the only calls you get are the calls you want. Guaranteed. Learn more about how IMP works by visiting joinimp.com. That's join, I-M-P.com.